Hi, good morning guys, and welcome back. I am very sorry that I have not posted a video in the past 10 days or so. We celebrated the 4th of July. We had some family in town for that, and then my birthday was on the 8th, and we had a Comic-Con in between that. So it's just been a lot going on. I haven't had a time to sit down and film a video. But today I'm very excited to do a Dollar Tree meal prep video. I'm gonna be prepping 2 breakfasts and 2 lunches. I know I say I'm really excited about every single video, but shopping at Dollar Tree truly is like a treasure hunt to me, and I really enjoy it, and I hope that these videos are helpful to those who need it as well. So in total, I spent $25 on all the ingredients that I need to make these breakfasts and lunches, and in total I should end up with about 19 meals if everything works out the way I want it to. So 19 meals for $25 is a pretty good price, comes out to about $1.30 a meal. Definitely cheaper than going to eat at fast food, and all of these meals are actually fast food inspired. Some of my personal favorite menu items at various fast food restaurants. So with that being said, let me show you everything I got and then we'll hop into the meals. So that was a little hard to try to get everything in frame, but I have a dozen eggs, I have some English muffins, American cheese slices, I have smoked sausage, 2 packages of instant potatoes, a package of brown gravy, some breakfast sausage, I have flour tortillas, 2 bags of spicy chicken nuggets, I have some frozen corn, you can also use canned corn, I have cheddar and mozzarella cheese, 2 bags of pre-cooked Spanish rice, and then for canned goods, I have refried beans and chili. I also have Rotel and enchilada sauce. So for my first breakfast, I'm going to be making some Hardee style breakfast sandwiches. Now typically their smoked sausage breakfast sandwich is actually served on a biscuit. I'm going to be using English muffins because I get 6 of them, so it's a little more economical than buying a package of biscuit mix, which case I'd get about 4 large biscuits out of it. So yeah, feel free to use biscuit mix if you want to. I'm going to be using English muffins. Then I have some smoked sausage. This is the hot smoked sausage, but they also sell a regular. I have some American cheese slices and some eggs. I'm only going to be using 6 of the eggs for the breakfast sandwiches and the other 6 for another meal later on. So for my smoked sausage, I am just going to be cutting each of these links into thirds, just eyeballing it. And then I am going to cut each one in half, but not quite all the way through because I want to be able to kind of fillet them open so that they're still attached at one end, kind of like the Hardee's breakfast sandwich. Some of you on the West Coast may know Hardee's as Carl's Jr., but here on the East Coast it is called Hardee's. So I am going to finish this with all of my sausages and just get them prepped in the same kind of butterfly style. So I'm going to go ahead and fry all of my sausages on both sides in a skillet just until they are brown. Now, of course, I'm doing this meal prep style so that I can show you just how much food I get for $25, and plus it's just easier for me. I like having things pre-made so I can just reheat. But if you're the type of person who doesn't like to reheat their food in the microwave, then feel free to use this as an inspiration and just make these fresh every morning. You can just have the sausages pre-cut and in your fridge in a container, and then each morning you can fry one up fresh for your sandwich. And once my sausages are browned up, I can go ahead and remove those and set them on a plate. If you are doing this meal prep style, it is best if your ingredients are cooled beforehand. And you might be wondering why go through the process of browning them if you need them to be cold for meal prepping. Browning them in advance adds some extra flavor to them. So I'm also going to pre-prep my eggs. I've reduced my heat on my skillet down to low, and I'm going to crack in 6 eggs. And that one is running quite a bit. And I do like to just go ahead and pop the yolk because I am doing this for a meal prep, so having a runny yolk is not something that I'm aiming for, but if I was making this fresh in the morning, you could do a fried egg instead of doing it the way I'm doing it. So I've got myself a little sandwich assembly station set up here. I have 6 sheets of pre-cut wax paper. I have my pre-split English muffins, my sausage and my eggs, and then of course my American cheese slices. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assemble all of these breakfast sandwiches. I'm gonna go ahead and put the egg down first, followed by 1 slice of cheese and my little sausage there. And I'm just gonna seal that up. And as far as wrapping it, I do like to wrap it fast food style. So I pull over both sides of the wax paper, and then I pinch it with my fingers here pull that side away from me, pull that side towards me, and then fold it under, and then I have a little fast food style wrapped sandwich. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that for all of my 6 breakfast sandwiches. You can store these in the fridge for up to 5 days, or you can freeze them. I am just gonna be storing mine in the fridge because I will definitely eat them within 5 days because I'm gonna be eating one of these today. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer all of these into a freezer bag, except for the one that is going to be my breakfast. And I am going through the process of meal prepping. I am definitely gonna eat one fresh. I say fresh because I'm going to be microwaving this because it is cooled down, but I'm going to be eating one the day of and then prepping the rest for later. So as far as reheating this goes, I am just going to be leaving this. This is wax paper, and wax paper is microwave safe, but it is not oven safe. So I can put this in the microwave for about 45 seconds or so, and it's going to be totally fine. If you're concerned, feel free to use parchment paper in place of wax paper. Since this is not chilled, it should only take about 30 to 45 seconds to heat through. So that is my breakfast sandwich out of the microwave. Like I said, only 30 seconds because this isn't cold. But if you were reheating it from frozen, you'd want to do about 60 to 75 seconds. If you're reheating it from the fridge, 45 to 50 seconds should do it. So, and I'll include all that in the description down below as well. But all right, that is nice and steamy. Cheese is melty. Dollar Tree American cheese is a little on the salty side, and so is the smoked sausage. So I didn't season the eggs or anything like that because there's going to be plenty of salt already going on between the cheese and the sausage. Let's give it a taste. I love smoked sausage breakfast sandwiches. This is perfect. I love that little hint of heat from the spicy smoked sausage, but of course feel free to use regular smoked sausage. Otherwise, I feel like this is a fantastic and hearty breakfast. Throw it in the microwave, good to go. So for breakfast number 2, we are going to be making some McDonald's breakfast burritos. Now this is how I have always made my McDonald's style breakfast burritos. I use diced tomatoes and green chilies in them. I think it actually replicates McDonald's really well. Beyond that, I have a 6-pack of Jimmy Dean sausages. So you can use the log of sausage and cook it yourself, but I thought this would just make things easier, and 6 is all I need. I have a package of flour tortillas. This comes with 12. I'm going to be using 6 now and 6 for lunches. And then I have of course, my leftover cheese and my leftover eggs. 6 slices of cheese and 6 eggs left over. I always struggle with these peel opens. Okay, there we go. This is going to be such an easy meal prep to throw together. I'm just going to go ahead and cut my sausages into little pieces. So I'm going to cut each link in half lengthwise, and I'm just going to chop it up into little bits. I am just going to go ahead and scramble the other 6 of my eggs. In a previous video, I talked about how adding water to your eggs is a good way to make them fluffy. If you don't have milk, you can use milk if you've got it, but otherwise you can just use water. And the way that that works is by creating little pockets of steam in the eggs as they're being scrambled, and so that's what actually makes them fluffy. And the water trick has been used for longer than the milk trick has been used. So I'm going to start by frying up my sausages. Again, these are pre-cooked, so there's not really any cooking to be done here, but I do just want to get them browned up a bit. I'm going to just go ahead and scramble my eggs right in with my sausage. And just like my sandwich assembly station, I have a little burrito assembly station set up here. Pre-cut wax paper, 6 sheets. I've already gone ahead and separated all my tortillas. I'm not going to pre-warm these because I don't really have any issue with it. If you want to pre-warm yours, you definitely can. And then to each one, I'm going to add a scoop of my sausage and egg mixture. I'm also going to add in some Rotel and a slice of my American cheese. Now for wrapping these, I'm going to wrap them McDonald's style, which means I'm going to leave one end open-ended. But that is my breakfast burrito. And I'm going to wrap that up in my wax paper and set it aside. Now, I'm not going to claim that this is 6 meals because when I go to McDonald's, I order at least 2 of these. They're kind of small, and these are pretty much identical to McDonald's size. So for the purpose of this video and for myself, I consider 2 of these to be a meal. So this is 3 breakfasts prepped. Since I already ate breakfast, I am going to go ahead and try one of these. So I'm going to microwave this for 30 seconds. So I went ahead and transferred the other 5 of my burritos into a freezer bag, and I'm gonna also store these in my fridge. If I need to freeze some of them, I probably will in like 2 to 3 days. I have been making McDonald's breakfast burritos like this for probably about 6 years. So I know that this is good. I know that Rotel is my personal secret to getting them identical to McDonald's. If you want to set these over the top, I recommend getting some of this Dollar Tree taco seasoning. It's super great. I'm not going to use it today just because I'm, sticking within the realm of the budget, but if you have the means to get some of this taco seasoning, it'll set these burritos over the top. Hot. So on point with McDonald's. Meal prep number 3 is one of my all-time favorite meal preps and one that I don't do as often as I probably should. So I have 2 packages of instant buttery homestyle mashed potatoes. I have corn, shredded cheddar and mozzarella cheese, 2 packages of chicken nuggets. If you don't like spicy, they also have chicken fries that are not spicy. And then I have a package of brown gravy mix because we're going to be making some KFC famous bowls. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is mixing together my cheddar and my mozzarella cheese. I am not going to be using all of this for the KFC bowls. I'm going to be using some of it for the 4th and final meal prep, but I do want to get it just kind of loosely mixed together. Mozzarella is kind of sticking to itself. The other prep work I'm going to be doing is mixing my packet of brown gravy in 2 cups of cold water. So I think ultimately the reason I don't prepare this as often as I would like to is just because it has a lot of different elements, and I like showing you things that don't require a lot of like pots and pans and things like that. But you do have to prepare a lot of these things kind of separately. So here I am, I'm just adding my homestyle potatoes in 4 cups of boiling water. Since I'm using frozen corn, I did put that on the stovetop with some water just to kind of heat it so it wasn't frozen when it goes in my meal preps. But if you want to use canned corn, you can skip this step essentially and just drain your can of corn. And then I am going to heat up my gravy on the stovetop just until it is thickened. I do like to go ahead and cook my chicken nuggets, so I'm going to toss both bags in my air fryer. But you can cook these any method you want, whether that's oven, stovetop, microwave, any of it. And when it comes to air fryers, I literally just turn it on 400 degrees and just let it run until I'm happy with the crispiness of the food. At this point in filming, I didn't realize my microphone had disconnected, so unfortunately there is no audio for any of these clips, so I'm just gonna have to voice over the rest of this video. I cut each of my chicken nuggets into quarters, that way it is more evenly distributed throughout the meal preps. And then for assembling the meal preps, you can use any container you want. I put 1 cup of mashed potatoes into the bottom of each container, then I just spread that out into an even layer with the back of a spoon. I topped each one with about half a cup of my corn. I followed it up with a drizzle of gravy. Now, I didn't use all of the gravy, so feel free to set it aside for a future meal or have some on the side in case you want to add more gravy to these later. I divided my chicken nuggets as evenly as I could between all 4 meals. And lastly, I finished it off with a sprinkle of cheese, being careful not to use too much of the cheese because I do need that for the 4th meal as well. And that is my finished KFC Famous Bowl meal prep. To reheat these, I just pop a corner and then I microwave these for 90 seconds. And honestly, this is one of my best Dollar Tree creations. So if you don't try anything from my channel, I'd recommend at least trying this one. All of the ingredients total $10 to make 4 KFC bowls, which is half the price of KFC. So my 4th and final meal prep was inspired by a Taco Bell enchilada, and for this I'm using a can of chili. I use this commonly as a substitute for taco meat. I also had 2 bags of pre-cooked Spanish rice, some refried beans, some enchilada sauce, and the rest of my flour tortillas from earlier in the video. Off to the side, I also had some Rotel and some corn left over, and I figured I might as well just use it up within this recipe. I didn't need to microwave my Spanish rice as it will be microwaved whenever I go to reheat my meal prep, so I just went ahead and kneaded it in the package and then added it to a bowl, and I decided to stir in the rest of my Rotel and my corn just to add some extra flavor to the rice. In a separate bowl, I mixed together my can of chili and my can of refried beans. The added benefit to using chili in place of taco meat is that this becomes a no-cook meal prep option. It only took me about 10 minutes to put this entire meal together. To each of my flour tortillas, I added about a half a cup of my beef and bean mixture, and then I just rolled those up and placed them in each of my meal prep containers. I put the Spanish rice on the side. It was also about a third to a half a cup of Spanish rice on the side. And then I drizzled the top of each of my enchiladas with some of my enchilada sauce and topped it with some shredded cheese. This was an easy meal prep that anyone could do, and the reheating instructions are the same. I just pop a corner and then microwave these for 90 seconds. And honestly, this turned out a little bit better than I expected it to. I love this paste enchilada sauce if you can find it. It adds extra flavor to the rice, just having the sauce on top there. And then the chili was a fantastic substitute for taco meat. This tasted so good, just like a Taco Bell enchilada. So between my 6 smoked sausage breakfast sandwiches, my 6 McDonald's style breakfast burritos, my 4 KFC famous bowls, and my 6 Taco Bell enchilada bowls, I succeeded in making 19 meals for $25, and all of these turned out so good.